Pi Network is a curious case study that has captured the attention of millions around the world. It's an unusual blend of accessibility, digital optimism, and speculation, all wrapped inside a mobile app that might be quietly sitting on your phone right now, tucked between your social media feeds and utility tools. It works silently in the background, requiring little effort, yet holding a promise of something potentially revolutionary, a way to earn cryptocurrency simply by tapping your screen once a day. The appeal is undeniable. Traditional cryptocurrency mining usually demands significant computing power, technical expertise, and high energy consumption. Pi Network strips all that away. There's no need for expensive hardware or an in-depth understanding of blockchain technology. All it asks of you is a few seconds of attention daily. That's the entire premise. For many users, that simplicity makes Pi incredibly inviting. It feels like crypto for the rest of us. A way to finally participate in the digital currency revolution without having to decode the complexities of mining or trading. Millions of users have already signed up, participating with religious regularity. Each day, they log in, tap the button, and accumulate Pi coins. It becomes a daily ritual, fueled by the hope that one day, these digital coins might translate into real wealth. The vision is grand, and the anticipation is intense. But as things stand today, there's an inconvenient truth: Pi has no actual value outside its app. It exists in a digital vacuum, a closed-loop ecosystem where the currency's worth is entirely theoretical. You can't exchange Pi for dollars or Bitcoin. You can't buy groceries with it or use it to pay for services. It's like holding a golden ticket for a lottery that hasn't been drawn yet and might never be. This uncertain status creates a divide. On one side are the believers. The faithful daily tappers who see Pi as a chance to get in early on the next big thing. They view it as a modern gold rush, where effort now could lead to enormous payoff later. On the other side are the skeptics, who view the whole thing as either pointless or a potential scheme for collecting data. These critics argue that after years of development and participation, Pi still hasn't crossed the threshold into real utility. The coins remain nothing more than on-screen numbers. This tension keeps the Pi conversation alive. Is it a brilliant grassroots movement building something revolutionary from the ground up? Or is it just a digital placebo, satisfying the urge to be part of crypto without offering anything of substance? Now enter Binance, a name that dominates the world of cryptocurrency. It's the largest and arguably most powerful exchange globally. If the crypto space were a game board, Binance would be the one holding all the key pieces. A coin listed on Binance gains immediate legitimacy. It becomes tradable, visible, and often valuable. Conversely, being ignored by Binance often means staying in the shadows, struggling for traction. For years, Pi and Binance seemed to operate in completely different spheres. Binance dealt with established players, while Pi remained in its closed beta world. That's why what happened recently sent shockwaves through the crypto community. During a live AMA, Ask Me Anything session, the CEO of Binance was asked whether Pi would ever be listed. And instead of brushing the question off, he responded thoughtfully. He acknowledged Pi's massive user base and said that community size is indeed one of the factors Binance considers when evaluating new projects. He didn't make any promises, but he didn't dismiss Pi either. In fact, he said, "We've noticed you." For the Pi community, that single sentence carried enormous weight. It was more than just recognition, it was validation. Suddenly, the conversation shifted. Pi was no longer just some fringe experiment. It was now on the radar of the biggest player in the industry. This acknowledgement from Binance didn't mean a listing was guaranteed, but it brought a level of credibility Pi had never experienced before. It showed that if Pi could demonstrate technical merit, security, and real-world use, it might have a future outside its walled garden. This brings us to a key analogy. Think of Pi Network like a group of kids building a lemonade stand. They hand out lemonade tokens to people who say the secret password, promising that someday those tokens will be worth something. Critics laugh, it's just pretend, right? But the kids keep at it. They dream of the day those tokens could actually buy lemonade, or maybe even more. Then imagine the CEO of the largest supermarket chain in the world notices this project. He says, if you can actually deliver real lemonade, and it's good, we might put it on our shelves. That's what Binance did. It gave Pi an unofficial nod, a maybe that made the dream feel closer than ever. For Pi users, this wasn't just a morale boost, it was a target. Now, they have a path: launch the open mainnet, prove the underlying technology, and show that Pi isn't just a gamified mining app, but a real cryptocurrency with working infrastructure and economic utility. Of course, this moment of attention also brings risks. Hype has a dark side. It can attract scammers, bad actors, and unrealistic expectations. The Pi community must tread carefully. As optimism grows, so does vulnerability. Users must stay vigilant, protect their information, and rely only on official sources. The excitement must be tempered with wisdom. There are still significant hurdles ahead. Pi must transition from a test network to a fully functional open mainnet. It must build a working economy where its coins can be exchanged for real goods and services. And it must maintain transparency and security in an environment where trust is fragile. But now, with Binance watching, there's a new sense of urgency and legitimacy. For those holding Pi, the best move is to stay engaged and informed. Complete your KYC verification. Participate in ecosystem development. Contribute where possible. Avoid scams and always question news that seems too good to be true. Whether Pi becomes a dominant force in crypto or just a historical footnote, those involved are gaining valuable experience in how decentralized economies grow or fail. Ultimately, this is about more than just a coin or an app. It's about belief, experimentation, and the willingness to bet on a new kind of digital future. The Pi story is still being written, and for now, the spotlight is on. The stage is set. What happens next depends not just on technology or listings, but on how the community rises to the occasion.